To date, one of America's greatest accomplishments remains putting man on Earth before any other country. We know the basics of this great feat, but let's take a deeper look into the history of this impressive moon landing. In 1961, it began with President Kennedy challenging NASA to put a man on the moon before the decade finished. NASA got right to work, and in 1969, it was time for blastoff. The day was July 20th, 1969. Commander Neil Armstrong and fellow pilots Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins boarded the Apollo 11 flight at the Kennedy Space Center. The rocket stood at 360 feet and would use 7.5 million pounds of thrust to propel into space. At 9:32 that morning, Apollo 11 had lifted off and was headed for the moon. After more than 4 days orbiting in space, the rocket finally lands on the moon. Now comes the big moment. The astronauts got themselves ready to put the first human foot on the moon. More than 500 million people were patiently watching their TVs from home, waiting for the big moment. Neil Armstrong climbs down the ladder and starts to walk on the moon's surface. It is in this moment when he gives his famous line, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin follows behind, and the astronauts explore the moon for 2.5 hours, collecting samples and taking pictures. Armstrong and Aldrin leave behind an American flag and a plaque on the moon to represent the fallen astronauts from prior missions. The plaque read, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 AD. We came in peace for all mankind." The astronauts board back onto the rocket and return safely back to planet Earth, finally fulfilling President Kennedy's challenge from 8 years prior. The mission gave America a newfound hope for the future. Neil Armstrong labeled the flight as the beginning of a new age. Everyone was excited for the accomplishments of these astronauts and Apollo 11, and their feats will be remembered forever.